Okay guys, today we're going to take a look at the Nitecore tube keychain light. I love this little thing. First, I'll run down the specs. Second, I'll tell you what I think about it. Okay, so first off, on high, it has an output of 45 lumens. The distance is 24 meters. The runtime on high is 1 hour on a full charge. And then on setting low, that is 1 lumen of light, and on setting low, you get 48 hours of runtime. The dimensions are 2¼ inches long, slightly wider than 3/4 of an inch, so about 7/8 of an inch wide, and this way it's almost exactly a 1/4 inch. The weight of it is 0.34 ounces or 9.6 grams. The beam angle, which means how the angle at which it throws light, is 100 degrees. So fairly wide. The reason why I love this light is because of the battery it takes and the rechargeable function. Okay, so right here we have an Anchor battery. Plugged into that we have a micro USB cord. Okay, so this black rubber here, if you pull that away, there is access to a micro USB slot. Now, all you do is insert the plug, and I will mention it's kind of hard to get. So first make sure you're going the right way. Okay, so now I have this cable plugged in. This battery is fully charged. If it was not fully charged, you'd see a blue light in here, a solid constant blue light. Now that if the battery is charging, you'll see the blue light. Once the battery is fully charged, that light will turn off. It is recommended that you, at that point, unplug it from the cable. But with that being said, this light has over discharge protection, overcharge protection, and short circuit protection. Pretty much fancy terms for saying it has controls built in that kind of prevents it from overcharging. It's not like if you keep pumping power into this battery, it will not explode. Pretty much there's circuits in there on that circuit board right now blocking power from going to the battery. But better be safe than sorry. I'll just unplug. One interesting thing, this key ring back here, on their website they tout it at having a 77-pound breaking strength, which means you can pull this, you can put 77 pounds of weight onto this before it will pull out. And if it pulls out, which I doubt it will, when it does pull out, the light will still work. So there's a few functions to this. Like I said, you press it once for 1 lumen light. You press it 2 times rather quickly for 45 lumen light. On the low setting, if you hold the button down, you get variable brightness. They call it infinity variable brightness. So as you can see, it goes from 1 lumen all the way to 45 lumens. When you get it to a brightness you prefer, you just let it go, and that right there is probably about 30 lumens, and you press it for off. Another feature which a lot of people will not know is you hold the button down for more than 1 second for momentary on. So pretty much I'm pressing the button down, it's 45 lumens. I let it go, turns off. To get back to the original setting, you just tap it and you're at 1 lumen again. Tap it and you're off. Tap it twice, 45 lumens. And on 1 lumen, hold the button down for variable brightness. These are flashlight settings that I prefer. It's not overly complicated. It's pretty easy to remember. Okay, so let's talk about the usage. Personally, I view this as an everyday carry light. I do not consider it a primary flashlight, but a secondary flashlight. Like I said, I normally keep this on my key ring. So pretty much anytime my keys are with me, which is about 24/7, I have at least one flashlight with me. With that being said, I do carry a better, bigger, brighter flashlight, such as this is a Fenix PD35 TAC. So this is a bright bad boy. Again, this isn't a review on this flashlight, but this has a lot of settings. It has a tail cap, and it's also pretty big, so you could use it as a blunt force self-defense option. With that being said, I view this as being more useful. Yes, this is a secondary EDC light, but I find myself using this more often than a full-size flashlight, namely for the reasons I stated. It's on my keys. I always have my keys with me. When I'm in my car, and the keys are in the ignition, most of the time this is pointing down at the floor and I can see what I dropped. Also, for regular everyday carry type situations, like I said, such as finding a lock, dropping something, possibly maybe say you dropped your primary flashlight, so you got your secondary to find your primary. Okay, so who is this mostly for? I'd say just about everybody. Whether you're a male, you're a female, you're old, you're young, heck, you could give this to your kid. It's not big. It probably wouldn't be viewed as a weapon at most public schools, and just kind of a just in case type thing. They could attach this to their backpack if there's a power outage at a school or whatever the case may be. It's simple for them to learn. It's lightweight, and if they do lose it or they do break it, it's not that expensive. Speaking about price, right now, I believe on Amazon you can get these for between $7 and $10, so very inexpensive. Another use for this is hanging at the top of your backpack, especially if you're into backpacking, hiking, bushcrafting, whatever. Hang this at the top of your backpack, and then that way, if you have to get something on your backpack and it's late at night, instead of pulling out your super bright flashlight that would ruin your night vision, click this once and you got enough light to illuminate your pack. Between the lightweight, the compact size, the low price, the rechargeability, the simplicity of it, all these things I consider pros. Now, what are the cons? The cons I have for this are very minute when you take into consideration all the pros. Mainly, this flap here. You can view this as a pro or a con. I find this flap, the charging port, unless you have fingernails, rather difficult, and I'm kind of afraid over time I'll break the rubber. All you got to do is take a pen, a knife, or something and just grab one of these corners and pop it up. The benefit of that being very hard to remove is that way accidentally this won't pop open and debris and dust and everything get into that USB charging port. The video is not over. This is 1 lumen. This is 45 lumens. As you can see, it's lighting up this table fairly well. Bright enough for me to be able to read a book, read a map, see what I'm doing, stuff like that. And then 1 lumen, I'll hold the button down. And then one more setting, hold the button down. Momentary high. But pretty much because of all the pros listed, I consider this one of the best EDC lights, the best keychain lights, the best backup secondary lights. This is a complete win. It's inexpensive. I would recommend go buy one. If you don't like it, you're out $7. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up.